Welcome to Nightmare Whispers. Tonight's story isn't about ghosts. It's about a photo that steals your soul, one smile at a time. Lock your doors. Cover every mirror. Delete every selfie. Because what happened in Traverse City, Michigan, starting October 14th, 2023, will make you burn every camera you own. And if you hear a shutter click in the dark, don't look. I was 17 when I posed for a vintage Polaroid at a flea market, and the photo showed me dead, hanging from the theater rafters while I was still breathing. My name's Harper Quinn. I was the girl who lived for the darkroom, who developed black and white prints in the basement of Traverse West High, red safelight glowing like blood, who believed a photograph could freeze a soul. I was wrong. It devours it. October 14th, 2023. The Harvest Flea Market stretched across the old cherry orchard on M22. Rows of folding tables under sagging tarps. Smell of kettle corn, wet leaves, and rust. I was hunting for a Polaroid SX70, the holy grail of instant film. Found one on a table draped in black velvet, like a funeral cloth. The camera was impossible. White leather, brass trim, lens like a cat's eye. No dust, no scratches. Brand new in 2023. The seller sat behind it. An old man in a threadbare tweed coat, skin like cracked film, eyes milky white, blind. But he turned his head toward me the second I touched the camera. "It takes the perfect shot," he rasped, voice like sandpaper on glass. "But only one per soul. Ever." I laughed. "How much?" $50. "And your smile?" I paid. He slipped a single pack of film into my palm. 8 shots, black border, expired 1987. "Don't waste them. The camera remembers faces. And it collects." I thought he was senile. Took it home. Loaded the film. Clicked a test shot of my cat. Miso. Black fur, green eyes, curled on my bed. The Polaroid slid out. Developed slow. Miso perfect. But in the background, a shadow with my face, mouth open in a scream. I blinked. It was gone. Or so I thought. I told my best friend, Eli Parker, 17, film nerd, always stealing my lenses. We'd been inseparable since 6th grade. He dared me, "Take my picture. Let's see if the old man's curse is real." We went to the Cherry Street Theater, abandoned since 1997, our urban exploring spot. Built in 1923, velvet seats like tombs, projector booth sealed with police tape, stage curtains moth-eaten, smelling of mildew and old popcorn. Eli posed center stage, arms wide, grinning like a movie star. "Make me immortal, Harper." I raised the camera. Click. The flash was too bright, like a lightning strike in a coffin. The Polaroid slid out, developed in my trembling hands. Eli's face perfect, but his eyes were black pits. No pupils, no reflection. His mouth stretched ear to ear, teeth too white. Behind him, me standing in the audience, but I was holding the camera on stage. Eli laughed. "Photoshop this, Harper. You're getting good." I checked the theater. Empty. No footprints in the dust. That night, Eli texted at 2:13 a.m. My eyes hurt, like something's crawling behind them. I called. No answer. Next morning, his mom found his bed made. Only his Polaroid on the pillow. Eyes now completely black, mouth dripping red developer fluid. Eli was gone. Missing person report filed October 15th, 2023. I kept the camera. Couldn't destroy it. The photos called to me, like a siren in the static. October 18th, I developed the next one in my basement darkroom. Red safe light, trays of developer, stop bath, fixer. The chemicals boiled on their own. Words appeared in the bubbling fluid. One shot PR soul. Smile and it takes you. 3 smiles and you're framed. I smashed the camera against the sink. It reassembled itself. Lens cracked, then healed like skin. That night, Eli's voice came from the darkroom drain. "Harper, I'm still in the frame. It's dark here. Cold." I took another photo of my reflection in the darkroom mirror. Click. The Polaroid showed me smiling, but my real face was screaming, mouth sewn shut with film strips. My reflection in the mirror didn't move. It just watched and smiled. I searched online, found a hidden forum, the Polaroid curse. Dozens of posts, same camera, same film. Every photo showed the subject dead, hours before it happened. 1998. Girl in Detroit. Photo showed her drowned. Found in Belle Isle Lagoon. 2010. Boy in Grand Rapids. Photo showed him hanging. Found in his closet. 2021. Woman in Kalamazoo. Photo showed her burned. House fire. All with one thing in common. The photographer vanished. I drove back to the flea market. The table was gone, but in its place, a corkboard on a rusted easel. Hundreds of Polaroids pinned up. Every missing person from Michigan since 1970. All smiling, all with black eyes, all with red developer fluid dripping from the corners. And in the center, Eli's photo, now with my name written in blood red ink. Harper Quinn, OC 31st, 11:59 p.m., October 31st. Halloween. The camera hummed in my bag. I hadn't touched it in days, but it took a photo on its own. Click. The Polaroid slid out of my backpack in chemistry class. Showed me in the Cherry Street Theater. Neck snapped, eyes black, hanging from the rafters, smiling. Timestamp. 11:59 p.m. tonight. I ran to the theater. The doors were open. Inside, the air was warm like breath. The stage lights flickered on. Eli stood center stage. Skin gray, eyes empty sockets, mouth stitched with film. "Your turn, Harper. Smile for the collection." The camera floated from my bag. Lens pointed at me. I screamed. Click. The flash burned white hot. I woke up, inside the photo, looking out. My real body stood on stage, smiling with Eli's stolen eyes. It waved. "Thanks for the face, Harper." The gallery's almost complete. Behind it, hundreds of Polaroids pinned to the curtains. Every missing soul, smiling, waiting. I'm still here, trapped in the Polaroid, watching my body live my life. It goes to school, hugs mom, develops new film in the darkroom. Every night, it pins another photo to the corkboard, with a new name. Last week, it took a selfie. You were in the background, smiling, eyes starting to blacken, mouth stretching, and on the back of your photo, in red developer fluid, next. That was the Polaroid that took my face. If you find a camera that's too perfect, if a photo develops on its own, burn it, smash it, run. Some lenses don't capture moments. They collect souls, and they're always watching. Comment your camera horror below. Subscribe, and whatever you do, never smile for a stranger's lens. I remember the first time I held the camera. The weight was wrong. Too light, like it was hollow inside, filled with something that moved when I tilted it. The leather smelled of old attics and forgotten birthdays. I ran my thumb over the brass shutter button and felt a pulse. Not mine. Something else. I told myself it was static, but the camera knew my name before I spoke it. Eli was the first to notice the change in me. We met every Friday at the theater to plan our next shoot. That week, I brought the Polaroid. He held it like a relic. "This thing's alive," he said. His fingers left prints in the dust that wasn't there. We took turns posing. I shot him against the cracked proscenium arch. He shot me on the orchestra pit edge. The photos developed in our hands like secrets. In mine, Eli stood with his back to me, but his face stared over his shoulder. Eyes black, mouth sewn. In his, I sat with my legs dangling, but my head was turned 180 degrees, smiling at the lens. We laughed it off, kids being kids. But that night, Eli called me at 3:07 a.m. His voice was small. "Harper, the photo of me, it's breathing. The mouth is moving." I told him to sleep it off. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I found the camera on my desk. I'd left it in my bag. The film pack was open. 7 shots left. One was missing. I searched the house, found the photo in the freezer, tucked behind the ice trays. It showed my mother in the kitchen stirring soup, but her eyes were gone, just black holes. And in the reflection of the window behind her, I stood with the camera. I never took that picture. Mom was at work. The soup was cold. I tried to throw the camera away, drove to the landfill at dawn, buried it under coffee grounds and broken toys. Came home. It was on my pillow. Film pack full again. 8 shots. The old man's voice echoed in my head. It remembers. I started avoiding mirrors, avoided windows, avoided anything that could reflect. But the camera didn't need glass. Took pictures through walls, through closed eyelids, through time. October 20th. I woke to find a Polaroid on my chest. Me asleep, mouth open, something crawling out of it. A strip of film, wet and red. I burned the photo. The smoke spelled Eli's name. That afternoon, the police came to school. They had questions about Eli. His mom hadn't heard from him in 5 days. I showed them the first photo. They laughed. Nice prank. But one officer, a woman with kind eyes, took it anyway. She never came back to work. Her partner said she quit. Moved to Florida. No forwarding address. I started seeing the photos everywhere. In my locker, in my cereal bowl, taped to the inside of my eyelids when I blinked. Each one showed someone I knew. My lab partner, dead in a car crash. My English teacher, throat slit in the faculty bathroom. My little cousin, drowned in the bathtub. None of it had happened yet, but the timestamps were always within 48 hours. I tried to warn them. They thought I was crazy, or worse, guilty. The police came again, this time with handcuffs. I spent a night in juvenile detention. The camera was in my cell when they locked the door. Film pack full. 8 shots. One was already taken. It showed me in the cell, hanging from the bunk bed. Timestamp, 4:17 a.m. I screamed until they sedated me. Woke up at 4:18 a.m. The photo was gone, but the rope burns on my neck were real. I escaped the detention center on October 25th. Climbed the fence. Ran through the woods. The camera followed. Not in my hands. In the trees. In the shadows. Clicking. Always clicking. I made it to the theater. The doors were open. Inside, the stage was lit. Hundreds of Polaroids hung from the rafters like wind chimes. Every missing person. Every death. Every soul. And in the center, Eli. Not the Eli I knew. This Eli had no eyes. No mouth. Just smooth skin where his face should be. He held the camera. "Your turn," he said. But his voice came from the lens. I ran. But the theater had no exits. Only more photos. More faces. More smiles. October 31st. Halloween. The final night. I hadn't slept in days. The camera was heavier now. Filled with something wet. I could hear it sloshing. I went to the theater one last time. The stage was empty. Just a single spotlight. And the camera on a tripod, pointed at a noose. The film pack had 1 shot left. I knew what I had to do. I stepped into the light, smiled. The shutter clicked. The flash was white, endless. I woke up inside the photo, looking out. My body hung from the rafters, smiling. Eli stood below, holding the camera. "Welcome to the collection," he said, and the theater doors slammed shut. Forever. I'm still here, trapped in the Polaroid, watching my body live my life, It goes to school, hugs mom, develops new film in the darkroom. Every night, it pins another photo to the corkboard with a new name. Last week, it took a selfie. You were in the background, smiling, eyes starting to blacken, mouth stretching, and on the back of your photo, in red developer fluid, next. That was the Polaroid that took my face. If you find a camera that's too perfect, if a photo develops on its own, burn it, smash it, run. Some lenses don't capture moments. They collect souls, and they're always watching. Comment your camera horror below. Subscribe, and whatever you do, never smile for a stranger's lens.